What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matt Burrill, here to tell you guys about my friends from Big Friendly Productions. Now, they specialize in creating merchandise for bands, artists, and even lifestyle brands. With their in-house equipment, they can provide shirts, branded hats, and more, as well as some graphic design services. They offer order fulfillment to handle your online orders and ship your merch straight to your fans from their shop down in good old Birmingham, Alabama, baby. Now, whether you are getting your first shirt, you're just starting out, or you're going on a 40-show run, hit them up for all your merchandising needs. Check out their website, bigfriendlyproductions.com, or shoot them an email, merchandising@bigfriendlyproductions.com. Also, make sure you guys like, rate, subscribe, tell your mama and them. And for more details and to get in touch with the rest of the familia, visit RaisRowdy.com. Now let's get into it. Outside the Round with me, Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
Come on.
This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
Well, my dude, how the hell are you doing? Wyatt Flores, this is a cool full circle moment because I remember meeting you in your hometown, Stillwater, Oklahoma, one of my favorite venues in the country, Tumbleweed. And I remember you opening, I remember Carrie, I was TMing for Trey at the time, bro. And I remember Carrie being like, hey, we got this kid. His name's Wyatt. And local kid, hasn't played much, but we're going to throw him on. I think he's going to be the next one out of Oklahoma. And you got up there and I was like, this kid's pretty good. And now you're fucking doing the damn thing, my dude. So how the fuck you been? Things are good?
Things have been amazing. Just absolutely a ball.
Where have you been the past, this last weekend? Were you on the road this past weekend?
This last weekend, I decided to take a fun little trip and just hop in the van and go watch my buddy Andrew Sevner play some shows. And,
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, just acted like his manager over the weekend.
So what is manager Wyatt Flores like? Like, what were you kind of doing?
Man, I love it. I'm like, the band needs more beer, and more beer.
And you're the one drinking the more beers are for management.
Yeah, that third more beer is for me.
That's your 10% right there.
Yeah.
10% of all beer. Provide 10% of the rider. That's
yeah,
the manager
much.
Wyatt Flores.
Money, don't.
Where were the shows at?
The shows were all in Burleson and Alvarado, Texas.
Okay, sweet. So how long of a drive is that to go out there and see a buddy play?
10 hours, but I was with the band. So
so you just rode out with them and stuff?
Yeah, so we share bands and
oh, cool.
And so I just hopped in the back seat and I was like, I don't have to drive.
That's kind of what, like, this weekend coming up. So I used to be on the road with Trey, and that's how you and I met. I haven't been out the road because I've been doing this Raise Rowdy thing and Outside the Round and all that, but I'm going out with Trey next week. And it's going to be weird to be out on the road and not be a merch guy or a tour manager. Like, I'm so looking forward to it. Just sit back, not have to worry about as much shit.
Do you think that you can, like, take your hat off of playing those roles?
That's going to be interesting to see because Trey's got a really good tour manager that came in when I left out, Josiah, who's like very with it and very, very organized and stuff. But it's going to be, and the band's a little bit different now than it was when I was with him. So because they've made some changes, but I'm interested to see what it's going to be like to be on. And we're on a bus, so I'm like, now I don't have to worry about the bus driver. Which Danny, the bus driver that Trey had, his name's Danny. He's from Arkansas. He's about 5'5", 270 pounds. 70.
Well, ain't that something?
Yeah, he always goes, well, ain't that something? And he's this little chubby dude from Arkansas. I can barely understand the word he says because he's so country.
Oh, no kidding.
And he talks about his grandkids and his great-grandkids. One of the things I did for him was I made him a Spotify playlist, and I downloaded Spotify on his Android phone. And since I've left, apparently he hasn't had Spotify going, and the radio doesn't work. So he's just driving a bus with no sound.
Like, not even a podcast playing, nothing?
Nothing. He doesn't know how to work audio. So look, that'll probably be my one big job. I mean, I'm going to be getting some like content, like interviewing fans and like doing shit like that. But one of my big roles, I think, is going to be to make sure Danny has some music to listen to.
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
I'm going to put Wyatt Flores right at the top of the
thank
list.
you.
I'm going to put Losing Sleep right at the top, and he's going to be rocking along and shit. He'll be like
next to
Booty
Man.
Yeah. You ever heard Booty Man by Tim Wilson?
I don't believe so.
So it's like it's a funny song. It's just You hear a lot of different songs, especially like being out with Trey. We heard all kinds of like funny random shit, and Booty Man was one of them. It's amazing how many times that guy can. I'm actually gonna play it right. I'll pop it on it. How long have you been in Nashville now? You've been here what, a year and a half?
It's coming up on a year right now. I mean, I was coming back and forth for about 6 months. Starting in 2021, of October, and then finally made the move here in June.
Because we met spring of 21. I want to say it was spring because it was before Calf Fry.
Yes.
So I remember them talking about Calf Fry and Carrie showing us around and stuff. So that had to be like March or April.
It was April 1st. I don't know how I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's
was
April
that one
1st.
of your first times playing Tumbleweed?
That was my first time playing Tumbleweed, and then 2 weeks later, Traveling Kid came out, and that same night was my first time playing full band at Tumbleweed. So it was,
dude.
Yeah, it was wild. I was freaking out.
And it's like, what are the odds that we happen to be out there for that? Like, of all the shows you could have opened for, it happens to be us, and that was one of the first shows that they had done coming out of COVID, which is really cool too.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget coming up to you and meeting you at the merch stand, and then you were asking me all sorts of questions about like how many songs I got, and I was like, well, I got one, and then I'm working on like another.
I know all the Turnpike songs. I can
play Turnpike all day long. Cover band for sure.
Where were your gigs at before that? Like, what kind of was it? Like the Mexican restaurant scene? Do you guys have that? Like, what's the up and coming scene in? Like, where do you start playing music in Oklahoma? Because like in the South, it's like barbecue joints and Mexican restaurants, and I came up singing in church. I don't know what it's like in Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, the whole church scene.
Yes.
But I mean, you can go play the restaurants and everything like that. For me, I kind of got in with another buddy of mine, Wyatt Baker, who's putting out music just now. If you get the chance, listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was in his band, like in college, which was only one semester. I was playing bass for him and then opening up for 45 minutes. And we played all over Northeast Oklahoma, so the Tulsa area very heavily, and then wherever we could get other gigs, but it was mostly up in that area. And then as soon as that band kind of broke up and I went solo after I dropped out of college, I just had so many connections working through there. And then people would reach out and you'd play little tiny bars. I mean, I wasn't supposed to be in there at all. Real bad. I didn't sign a lot of affidavits. But, I mean, you just keep playing and you just got to be good at networking. And it's a real tough scene sometimes because Oklahomans, it's not that they don't care, but you really have to win them over for them to show any sign of like, oh, yeah, this kid's good. Or they have to be really drunk, and then they'll tell you how they feel. But, like, other places I've watched, like Kentucky and been up to some of those festivals, and they are there for the music.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different how things work. You got to really work the crowd to try and get something.
Yeah, that was something I first saw when I first started going out to Texas, back when I was working with the Muscadine Bloodline guys. That was my introduction to Texas, and I remember going into a dance hall for the first time and being like, why aren't people in front of the stage? And then the band starts, and then they all move out there in pairs, and they're twirling around. I'm like, oh, it's really a dance hall. It's not. It's not the like the rock show vibe where it's people rushing in, getting to the front of the stage kind of vibe. Yeah. Which is something that a lot of folks coming out of the East Coast or the Southeast, it's just such a different vibe for us when we go out there. It's intimidating because it's like, how do you win these people over?
Because they're there to dance.
Yeah, they don't care who's playing. They're there to dance.
Which was always a struggle for me because my songs are not really so much two-step. I'm here to spread a message, I guess, and it's like, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't have any dancing songs.
But I feel like right now is the time when that in Red Dirt, you look back to like the Godfathers of Cross Canadian Ragweed and that style and how it's been spread down to guys like Coetzel, to guys like Zach Bryan, to what you're doing right now. Like there is this style where it's hey, I'm from the lower mid. I'm from Red Dirt country, but I don't want to dance. I don't want to wear a cowboy hat. I want to rock, and I want to sing about some real shit that people are going to relate to from where I'm from.
And I can't believe that it's actually working because I was scared. I was like, these people are going to hate this because it's slow or they're not. It's It's a different kind of style. I have so many styles, and none of them stay the same. But that's why Losing Sleep works so heavily in that market, is because it's like, the Alabama cross-Canadian ragweed kind of rock and roll, and the story is good, but they're there for the chorus. They love it. But everything else is kind of like, I don't know if I like this quite yet. But also, it's not out yet, so that could be it. But it's really crazy how things are way different in different areas. Like, that's been the weirdest thing for me, because Oklahoma, that's all I ever knew. And then you step outside and it's like, oh, people actually like this other style of music in different areas.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's just weird the way the landscape works out.
The amount, now, who's your agency for booking?
So for booking, it's CAA.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's where Trey's at too. We got a lot of good friends over there. But they have had you in all corners of the country. Like, I've just from following on. I remember you first moving to town. I remember seeing you doing those showcase shows at the basement. I remember you popping by Live Oak and doing some of those pickle jar shows and doing some rounds, or just kind of like hanging out and networking. And then it seemed like all of a sudden you were just, oh shit, Wyatt's in California. Oh
Yeah.
shit,
Oh, yeah.
Wyatt's in Seattle. Oh shit, he's in Michigan. Oh, he's in New York City. I'm like, damn. They're sending you all over the place. So you've gotten to see most of the country now at such a young age and so early into your musical journey. What's that all kind of been like, aside from you realizing that there are different things than the Oklahoma red dirt scene?
It has been absolutely wild. I thought I was going to hate New York City, and it's by far my favorite place.
Let's go.
Yeah,
As a
no,
New Yorker, let's go.
L.A. was kind of like a whoa. But yeah, from trying to do something, and then all of a sudden the next thing you know, it's like, hey, we leave for New York tomorrow. And it was like, what? And then 2 weeks later we're in LA, and then I don't even know, Florida and everywhere else. That's all I've ever wanted to do, but to be able to say that you can do that, it's still like unreal for me. Like, it's scary. It's like scary, because I don't even want to look at Master Tour, because I'm like, oh man, we're fixing to go see the countryside, boys. And it's like dreams are actually coming true. And it's I don't know, it's heartwarming, but at the same time, it's like, how did we go from 0 to 100 so fast?
Yeah, dude. And that's to me the power of the internet. And talking about New York City, what makes New York one of your favorite places?
People watching is fun.
Oh, dude. Yes.
Like, I haven't had the full opportunity to sit down, people watch from a window, and just write songs, like come up with stories for people. Like, that's my next thing when I go out to New York, is that's all I'm going to do for a full day.
Bro, you got to go and sit in outside near NYU, and I think it's Bryant Park, or like there's like Central. There's all the different parks there.
Yeah.
You got to just sit on a bench and just observe what is going on around you in New York City, because you will see all walks of life. Literally every culture in the world is represented on that 13-mile island.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's so chaotic. Did you get some good food when you were up there? I figured they fed you well.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of great places to eat. I don't really know the names of them, because they get really creative with their names.
Well, yeah, because it's different cultures.
Oh,
It's not John Smith's barbecue joint. It's arrivederci something, and then you've got like Jamaican food and Indian food and Asian. Like, we have different sections of and what's crazy is that the city is only like 11 or 13 miles.
It doesn't make any sense.
And there's 9.8 million people along that little stretch of islands, whereas like 13 miles in Oklahoma is nothing. Like that's like some people's closest neighbors. So it's like, for you to be in there, did you get some pizza and shit?
Oh,
and like bagels and
I don't think I've had a bagel there yet. I keep missing out on things to do, so that way I have a reason to go back. But
Well, I feel like your music is going to be the reason you go back, because people want to see it. Now, was that just meetings and stuff you were up there for, or was that a show?
So, well, anytime that I'm going somewhere, I always like to just play some random spot and go TikTok live. Or
well, did you play in New York? Like, did you play a show in New York, or was it for meetings, or what were you doing out there?
I was out there for label meetings.
Okay.
So went out there for label meetings, then LA, and then San Francisco, and I still had a ball just seeing everything. But we did play live at Times Square, and then some kid just showed up, and I was like, Oh, yeah, he's going to ask me to play something like, I don't know, Luke Combs or Morgan Wallen. And then he's like, hey, can I make a request? And I was like, go for it, man. And he goes, Losing Sleep? And I just about lost it. I was like, there's no way someone's out here from New York City listening to me. And he just hopped in a cab and then met us in Times Square. It was the wildest thing ever. It looked staged.
Yeah, but that's how it works, man. Yeah. That's how it works. Is it weird you come from Oklahoma, you move to Nashville, and then it's like label meetings, but instead of going to 16th Ave, they're sending you all over the country?
Yeah, it's weird. It was like, oh yeah, this is normal. I know Music Row. We can go down there. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're also going to New York. And I was like, what?
What was San Francisco like? Because I've heard that San Fran is its own. It's just a wild. There's just Northern California is a weird place right now. There's good people up there, but it's just it just seems like it's just not the vibe right now.
Well, it was an eye opener. It was the Tenderloin. Ended up having an Uber drive straight through that, and I don't know if you know what the Tenderloin is.
No, I smoked a cigar that's referred to as a pork tenderloin tatuaje cigar last night that's in like butcher paper, but I've never I've had plenty of pork tenderloins or beef tenderloins, but what's the
Tenderloin is not very tender. It's actually the sketchiest part of the city, and the Uber ended up taking it straight through it, and I've never seen like people just doing drugs on the sidewalks and just passed out. It's just an awful area, and it's sad to see it. And then we get back to the hotel and we disperse. I had Braden and Tyler, which are my managers.
Yeah.
We all split off, and then I get a phone call 5 minutes into being in my hotel room, and my manager goes, "Are you in or are you out?" And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he goes, "Are you in or are you out?" And I was like, "I guess I'm in." And he goes, "All right, come to my room right now. I need your help. Someone's trying to jump off the roof from the other side." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me right now." And he goes, "No, not at all." And then come to his room. He's already had time to go downstairs, ask the front desk lady, "Hey, I need to figure out what building that is. Can you tell me what it is? Because someone's trying to jump right now." And they just don't care. Then he goes out to where the valet is, and they wouldn't help him either.
Wow.
Like, it's so casual over there. Like, no one cares. And go back up to the hotel room, and he had finally figured out what building it was. He called the cops, and it took them forever to get over there. But when they did, they blocked off the street, and it was a guy that would keep running up the stairs of the building, and the girl would keep trying to pull him back. She'd tackle him, pull him back down the stairs, and then it was sad to watch because they were hitting each other.
Yeah.
Like full-on fist punching, and then
it's just
they'd be screaming, and finally we waited forever, and it was getting to the point where it was like, this guy's getting closer and closer to making it up those stairs. And then you see all the flashlights come up on the other side of the building, and it's the cops and the fire department. And I don't know. It was...
What do you think it is? Is it drugs? Is it just an area that's kind of just lost its way? I mean,
I think there's no sympathy. No one has time to feel bad about other people's problems out there. Is what I felt like it was. I mean, it could have been the drugs over there. I mean, it's just a way different culture and a harder life in some aspects of being more personalized. Like down in the South, we all care about each other.
Yeah.
We'll help anyone. Like, I don't know why that is.
Tennessee is the volunteer state for a reason.
Yeah. And go out there and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, another person died." And they're just so numb to it. And that was just really weird for me to like see with my own eyes, like people not caring that someone's fixing to end their life. And they're like, "Yeah, this happens every day."
Yeah. You're a guy that writes about a lot of real shit, and Oklahoma, I've been to Tulsa. I've been to Stillwater. I think I've been to Norman, and then where else? Eufaula, Oklahoma. I think we went to, right? McElwain, Eufaula, and then Goodwell. Goodwell had nothing around it, but it just seems like the guys and girls that come out of there, you guys have lots of stories to tell, and some of it's about the bad times, some of it's about the good times, but it seems like the bad times and this emotion. Is it just because there's not a lot to do that you guys have the time to think about these things and get into an emotional space? Or what is it about Oklahoma that you have your style of stuff? You have Turnpike, you have what Ragweed did, you have Zach Bryan. Like, what is it about Oklahoma?
I think there's a lot of good things that come from Oklahoma. We have great food. We got great people. The only thing is that through history, it's a sad state. Like Trail of Tears, then all of a sudden, you got the land run going on. And then the FBI was started. Like, have you seen Killer of the Flower Moon?
No, I haven't seen that. What's that?
I would read the book before the movie comes out with like Leonardo DiCaprio, Sturgill Simpson, and Jason Isbell all in the movie.
Shit.
And it's Native American history is just, you don't even, like, you could scratch the surface and it's just absolute terrible. But like, if you really start digging, it gets worse and worse and worse. And that's what the state is. I mean, the government literally looked at the land and said, that's a good place to put them because you've seen it.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's very little resources.
And then come to find out there's oil. Well, what's the government do then? It's just an ongoing cycle, and it's still going on today. It's still the Wild West out there in Oklahoma. And it's just full of pain and suffering. And, the Dust Bowl and everything else. It's just constant depression, man. It really is. And there's a lot of great things that come out of Oklahoma. And I think it's because that state is just, like, growing up in it, there's like this energy there that is like, this place ain't right.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much that has gone wrong. And I think it makes people a lot stronger whenever they know enough, I guess, about pain, and they're able to, learn from it.
Yeah, and the climate there, it's really hot. You all get a shit ton of tornadoes.
Yep.
It's when it rains, it can flood. Like, you guys have, it's like you said, it's a tough place, but it makes you more resilient. It makes you hungry. It creates a character that you don't get in other places.
Yeah.
Which is something that I see in you. I see that in a lot of other in music people. You see that in the culture of the native culture that's there. You have the mixture of literally the cowboy and the native culture together. Like for you, what was it like growing? Like, do you have some native in you, or you what's your kind of background with all that stuff?
I don't know if I'm. I need to send in one of those tests. I get this question all the time. So I'm like Mexican, Spanish, and then the Indian part is either Aztec or Inca, somewhere down there.
So it's native to lower part of North America or Central America.
Yeah, and I maybe I got Cherokee or something along the lines. Maybe, but I kind of doubt it, and I don't know yet. I need to figure it out. But the whole, like, feeling of growing up there is like you got cowboys all around. I mean, that's all I did was farming and ranching, helping other farmers, and working construction. That's all I've ever been around.
Construction?
Oh yeah, I was on a job site when I shouldn't have been because of age. It seems like that's an ongoing thing with me, is that I shouldn't be in places due to my age, but I somehow end up being there.
How old were you on a construction site?
17. There's a couple other times where I was a little younger, but it wasn't like any terrible big jobs.
It wasn't like what kind of shit were you doing? What kind of construction?
I was the grunt, so you pick up a shovel.
You just start digging?
You just start digging. There's all sorts of stuff. I loved construction because you could look at it and it'd be done. Like the day's over and you're like, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
But this kind of music business is a little...
No, it's definitely different. It's not as tangible.
Yeah, and doing that has helped me, just know what an actual hard day of work is, and then also just learned really bad habits of like what that lifestyle is. It's like, oh yeah, we smoke cigarettes, we eat gas station food, and we run straight off of energy drinks.
That sounds like touring. That sounds like what I've done in the music business the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's kind of that. Yeah, run yourself ragged. You're still breathing. You're fine. And doing that, and then also they, I guess my first job was doing partial construction, and then helping run the show cattle, and then also just taking care of the rest of the ranch. And then got done there. Started working for Well, basically, I view him as my second father. I've been raised with that family all my life, and started planting with him, and then just worked that summer. And then after I quit college, I started farming and ranching with another farmer straight north of Stillwater, and worked there for about a year almost, just doing that. And I was lucky because he needed so much help, and he'd still let me go and run off on the weekends and go play shows.
And pursue your dream.
Yeah. He was like, I think you can do it. And then one day I was like, I got to go to Nashville. He's like, heck of a deal, Wyatt. Go have fun. And then I was
Heck
like,
of a deal, Wyatt.
yeah. And then 1 month later, I'm like, hey, I'm going to have to quit this job. And he's like, it's all right, son. You go get it.
What was that guy's name?
Doug Will.
Doug Will.
Yeah.
And what is he? How would you describe it? Like, what does he look like? Is he like just that classic old cowboy farm guy, or is he not as old as you're making him sound? Because I'm envisioning like Yosemite Sam, old dude, being like, all right, boy.
Nah, I mean, I'm trying to remember. He's got to be in his late 50s, early 60s.
How'd you get linked up with him? Was it just
It was the other farmer, Richard Pratt.
Oh, so he knew that
Oh, yeah.
this guy needed help.
Yeah, because winter times Richard doesn't need that much. He can all do it himself. Summertimes he's got plenty, but Doug has a way bigger operation and he needs constant help. So I had plenty of things to do. There's never a time where it was like, well, what should I do now? It was like, oh yeah, there's so many things.
Yeah, and speaking of all the things that are farmed in Oklahoma, there's lots of states. I call myself California sober.
California?
So I'm
Okay.
a smoker.
Yeah.
I had to quit drinking about that 7 years ago. But I still smoke, and I was blown away my first time going to Tumbleweed, and the folks loading in are like, hey, anybody in here like 420 friendly? And I was like, me. And I did not realize how big of a crop hemp and marijuana are in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's legal to grow and like medically legal to buy, but it's like people just have an abundance of it, and it's just tons of people growing pot everywhere.
Oh yeah, no. As soon as they made it legal, I mean, just the greenhouses start popping up everywhere, and then you get. I probably shouldn't say this part, but I had friends that had some folks just show up and be like, "I want to buy this property off of you," and they'll show up in duffel bags in a van full of people, and they have just straight up bought their house that day, and I don't know, like. I think the government finally figured out we can make some money off of this deal by taxing it. And it was like, we might as well,
Yeah.
And as soon as they did that, dispensaries were just popping up out of the ground. I mean, I think there was like 23 in Payne County, which is where Stillwater is. And some of those aren't doing so well, because they're created so much competition and it just leveled out the playing field. But yeah, when it first started, it went crazy.
Yeah, like you said, it's the Wild West, and it stays the Wild West because of different things that get introduced there. And one of the latest things is marijuana.
Yeah,
it's like the gold rush back in the day. it's like when folks are moving out west. Now folks are moving to Oklahoma because they know they can grow there and have affordable living and do all that. Now has that like changed the culture out there, you think, for the better, or is it still Oklahoma's still Oklahoma?
It's still Oklahoma.
It's
Yeah,
still...
like at first everyone, because it's the Bible Belt. They're like, man, I don't know about this. This. Life goes on, and no one really cared. It was, I mean, honestly, it just feels better because half the time, you get freaked out because you got a buddy in the back seat, and you're like, you're telling me you have how much on you? And now it's like, oh, okay, you got your card, you're fine. And it just kind of eases everything. And it was a smart choice for Oklahoma.
Yeah, there's way worse substances that people could be doing than smoking some green that Bobby Joe up the road is growing,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we have a good friend. I won't say his name, but he's a good friend of ours for being out there with Trey, and he makes these gummy bears.
God bless those gummy bears.
Dude, we call them suicide bears because they kill you. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like they're They're like yay big, but they're like full spectrum. They're 90 milligrams and they're this big, the little baby guys, but they're 90 milligrams full spectrum. He sells them to the dispensaries for cancer level patients.
Oh dang!
But if you're playing out there, he'll just hook it up. He'll hook it up, and he comes on the bus. He hangs out. He has a beer. He says what's up to the guys. I have him side stage during the show, like just off. Not a liability at all. He's just sitting there drinking cold beer. Wants to smoke up or wants to be smoked up. Funny part is Trey's completely sober. He's full straight edge.
Yeah.
Like had to get sober at 19. Was into some shit, and what he'll do is he'll get the stuff and he'll bring it back with them. And then you see people try these bears and they're like, where is this from? And I'm like, it's from Oklahoma. And they'll say, wait, it's not from Colorado or California. This ain't going to be that. I'm like, oh, buddy, you have no idea. This is from Oklahoma. This is some of the best stuff you can possibly get. Like, I mentioned Oklahoma is one of my favorite legal states, and it's not even fully legal. Just the stuff that I've had from Oklahoma is just, I put it up there with anything. So
it's and it's affordable too.
yes,
Illinois, they
40% on the dollar, dude.
Ugh.
New York City doesn't even tax it that much.
No.
And we tax everything a shit ton.
Yeah, no, even going to New York. I mean, I usually don't talk about this thing, but
no, dude, it just smells like weed now.
Oh,
New York City's just a big weed cloud. That's what, and it used to be like in certain neighborhoods it would be like that, but now it's legal, and the city's just like you're talking about with San Francisco. It's not quite at that level, but the city's a very different place right now than it's been over the last 25, 30 years. Same thing with Philly, same thing with Chicago, same thing with Boston. A lot of those cities are just different places now.
yeah, and I think it's funny with New York City because I'd be walking on the sidewalk and my manager would bump me and he'd be like, look at that. And there's 10 beautiful college girls just walking by, look like supermodels.
Well, yeah, fashion capital of the world, bro.
Yeah.
All the supermodels most of the supermodels live, international supermodels, they go to New York before they go to Miami or LA.
Yeah,
we
if
get
you're
'em
mad
first.
you can't see the sun, because of the buildings, I can tell you one thing. But then I'll look over to my right and there's two guys leaning up a parking meter and they're shooting up heroin together.
Yeah.
And it's like, just... I don't know. It's like two different things, but
It's a
at the
jungle.
but you don't feel unsafe, I guess, or at least in the parts that I've been.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, he's just doing his thing.
Yeah, and then what time of the year were you guys there?
I was actually just there 2 weeks ago. One week ago.
So right now is a good time to go. You wait another month or two, that heat. You saw all those trash bags on the ground.
Yeah. Oh.
So those trash bags don't get picked up any quicker. There's 9 million people there. There's a lot of trash to pick up. And it gets stacked. And that heat of the sun going down on the concrete with the trash just creates a scent and an odor that I can only describe as character building. Like we talked about, Oklahoma builds character. New York City definitely builds character. And where'd you guys stay when you were, like you said you went to Times Square? Because I'm interested because it's cool to hear you say that you loved New York City.
Yeah.
Like I love that you like that. And there's people in the city that are really into the vibe of music that you're making. Like you go to Brooklyn, you go to the Village. People don't realize that's where Shooter Jennings really started coming up out of. Like
I did not know that.
There's country artists that were in the early days. Like I'm talking like early Americana scene, like Billy Block Show Americana back in the day. New York City was one of the spots where that was really introduced, and it was within the hipster culture of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s in Brooklyn.
I did not know that.
Like there's venues in the city that do the kind of country. They're not doing the bro country, pop country stuff. They'll do it. Like I saw Dustin Lynch at the PlayStation Theater years ago, right on Broadway. But there's sections of the city that want to hear the real shit, that want the emotion, want Wyatt Flores.
Well, it's because they know real shit.
Yeah.
They see it every single day. I mean, people watching, when you're surrounded in all those cultures, you're going to see real things. It's not like you just get to live in one little spot. Like when you come from the middle of nowhere out in Oklahoma, you don't see so many walks of life. You're like, oh yeah, I know this place and it hasn't changed and it probably won't change. You go out there and you're going to see every walk of life, and just the conversations that you can have out there. And it just opens your eyes, and it's like you get to have these connections with people just talking to them, and you figure out where they're from, and if they're lucky, if you're lucky enough, they'll tell you a little bit about where they come from or something, or give you a story to go with. And to be around that and to just be a sponge and soak all that in, you get to figure out how crazy life is besides just right there in small town little Oklahoma. There's so much life to this world. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, and you really enjoy writing stories about that. Like you'd say the people. I've never heard a songwriter or an artist say, and it makes so much sense now. People watching and coming up for stories about these people and putting it pen to paper and making it a song. Like that explains a lot of you think about like the storytelling of people like Billy Joel and Paul Simon, New York guys from back in the 70s. They had to just be looking out their window and writing songs about people.
And there it is. Let the imagination run. I mean, that's one way you can do it. Or I'd write a whole bunch about life experiences, but
yeah,
at the same time, it's also fun to try and put yourself in someone else's shoes and just walk it.
Yeah. How has co-writing been for you? Because I feel like like you said, there's not a lot of that. I mean, it sounds like you were involved in the music scene in Oklahoma to where you knew other guys and girls that were doing it, but you come out here and it's just songwriters for days.
Yeah. It was kind of, I don't know, like I'm waiting for people to figure out that I don't write every single song by myself, and I'm wondering what that's going to look like because, it's all the controversial thing of like, oh, well, if you got co-writers, then you ain't a real songwriter.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I love writing with my friends because I have ADHD like no other.
Same, bro. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
It's bad.
Same.
Like sitting by myself, like I have to have something smack me. Like my feelings have to be smacked upside the head for me to go, there it is. And then it just comes to me. And that's usually how most of the songs I write by myself happen. But when it comes to co-writing, it's great because you get to learn how to write a song. You get to learn other ways that you can write a song. And it's the whole sponge thing. That's all I wanted to do when I got here was learn as much as I possibly could, as fast as I possibly could do it. And co-writing is it's so eye-opening in its own way of like, you'll have one person that writes a song like this, and then you'll have another that goes, no, we're not going to do it that way. We'll do it this way. And the energy that can be built into a room, it's magical. Like putting a whole bunch of heads together. But I also write differently. I don't walk into a room going, we need a number one hit. I walk in every single time going, what kind of art can we make?
Yeah.
And that's been the funnest part for me. It's like, don't expect this song to just be, the next Friends in Low Places. It's like, we're not after that. We're here soul searching for something greater.
And if people like it, great.
Yeah.
If they don't, and we're confident in what we wrote, great.
Yeah.
And songs can have so much life sitting in a catalog too. Like you think about some songs that have come out. I mean, you look at a guy like Chris Stapleton who spent years as a writer, and there's still hundreds of Chris Stapleton songs that
we don't know.
That we have no idea that are sitting in a catalog that could be huge hits for someone, but you just don't know. And the thing about cause I feel like that, and you coming to Nashville proves that times have changed within the red dirt scene and Nashville. Because there's that video back in the day of Ragweed singing "Boys from Oklahoma" and all those guys like Wade Bowen and I forget who else was
Randy
in there.
Rogers.
Randy Rogers, and they hop up, and one of the verses when one of the guys hopped up and sang was like singing. There was that rivalry of this is Texas and this is Nashville, and nowadays it's all so blended together, which is great in the way it probably should have always been, to where you have folks out of the Texas scene that have their business based out of it. You have folks out of Oklahoma and Texas like yourself that have moved here fully and are still touring the scene. And then you have folks from Nashville, like my boy Tyler Halverson, coming South Dakota to college here in Nashville, to being a staple of that East Nashville early like this generation's Americana Western scene, to moving to a place in Texas with no cell service and learning how to play shows in Texas. It's all so blended now. So it's like the perfect time for a guy like you to be coming up, in my opinion.
It's been very difficult because when you're raised that way, it's like you don't want Nashville. That's the way Oklahoma and Texas have always been. And screw Nashville. That place is just dog water, this, that. I mean, they could talk shit on it all day.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to go see for it myself. And there's parts of that. It depends what you come here looking for. But all that stuff about, oh, yeah, well, we appreciate our own songs around here, all that. And it's like, why are you telling? You're lying. You fly out to Nashville. Like, it baffles my mind, the lies that get told.
Yeah.
And you know, some people are going to hate me for it. But truthfully, it is a lie. Like, I've seen so many people that talk about it, and they're like, oh, yeah, screw Nashville and screw all those writers and everything else. It's all this. And then they're turning around and coming here.
Yeah, and
they're just not telling
and
you.
writing songs with the writers.
Yes. It's like, damn, lied to my face, you know, and that's always been the hardest thing for me to tell people. It's like, yeah, I went to Nashville, and I didn't go looking for a record deal or anything. I just came out here to learn.
And be inspired.
Yeah. Like, it was never a goal of mine, you know, to show up and get on radio or anything like that. Like, I've just been doing me.
And it's been working.
But
which is beautiful.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, I'm very lucky. We all joke around about it in my team, and it's like, we're not even supposed to be here. Like, we're just lucky enough to get this opportunity, and we're just living our best lives. But, you know, it's just weird how it all played out.
Yeah. How was you got to do Calf Fry this year? How was that for you as a Stillwater, Oklahoma area native?
The time slot we had this year worked out real well. Usually the sun's just like blasting you in the eyes, and it was cloudy and rainy. And so that was one good thing, but it was definitely different this time. You know, the first time that we played, we were, you know, frantic. We were like, we got to build this show out, and we got 2 weeks to do it. And it wasn't like I was using Nashville hot shots, you know, that just no songs like that. It was like, all right, we're going to piece some things together and build a show with whatever we have. And we did it, but we were all nervous and got through it. This year, it was way different. It was like, I can't wait for y'all to see this show. It's 10 times better than what you seen 4 months ago when I played here last time. It's more energetic. We kind of got our things figured out. The band's really becoming a unit. But on the fan spectrum of things, that's where it gets really weird. You got people in the crowd that either love me because they're one of my friends, or they hate me because they knew me as a kid, and they're like, yeah, I hate this guy. He's just an annoying little ADHD running around.
Same. Honestly, our life stories are very similar in that regard.
And then there's other people like we definitely pulled a bigger crowd that was our own. And that was so cool because I knew like there was people in the crowd that were actual fans, and they didn't know who I was. They only knew my music. They never knew me personally. And doing the fan interactions, like went out there, and I didn't have much time before Caitlin Butts came on stage, but the first person that walked up, the girl started bawling, and I'm like, you're all right, you know, like trying to help her out, and then getting ripped away, you know, like we had to go because it's rude. It's rude to be out there in the crowd while another artist is playing.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah, and so I got ripped away, and then people were just grabbing onto me, and I was like, okay, this is getting real if it's hitting the hometown like this, because I know plenty of people in this town. It's just weird to see.
Where you're just Wyatt to them. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not this artist that these people need to meet and they need to get a picture with. You're just Wyatt Flores. You're the same kid that you were 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And then now it's like, oh, there's actual people in the crowd that are here because of the music.
Have you headlined inside yet?
No. I don't know when we're gonna do that.
Dude, that is going to be a moment.
I think we sold 1,000 tickets last time we were there. Me and old Cam Allen. Have you met Cam Allen?
I have heard nothing but good things about that guy.
Oh, he's great.
I have heard from our buddy Andrew, who's over at I don't know if you know Andrew. Andrew over at CAA.
I believe I've met Andrew.
Damin and Johnny.
I was going to say, go ahead and try to say his last name.
Damin and Johnny. He's an Italian boy, by Paisan. He's a good friend of ours. He's from Pittsburgh, and he's over at CAA. I remember him being he's a guy that I talked to. He's a really good buddy. I remember when he moved to town, and he's just busted his ass and started out as an assistant and has risen up now to being an agent over at CAA. But one of the things that he would do is come to my round, come to Nikki T's round, go to little showcases at the basement, and he's was very early on you. He was like, dude, we're looking at this Wyatt Flores kid. I was like, bro, I met Wyatt. We exchanged phone numbers like last year at Tumbleweed. But he's been telling me a lot about Cam Allen, like a guy that I need to have in my wheelhouse. Is he another Oklahoma kid?
Yes. Him and his band are just absolutely phenomenal people, and their music is really good. I mean, they're knocking down the doors and they're getting after it. He's got just an amazing voice. I don't know if you've gotten to listen to it or see one of his live shows. He's just has an angel voice. Like, it's like, how did this kid get so blessed with an amazing voice? It's like,
and you're doing
I got a bag of gravel back here just floating around. Oh yeah, it's awesome to see all of us Oklahomans just kind of making it. Like J.R. Carroll started out with him, and heck, I had a phone call with him yesterday of just, isn't it crazy that we started from a lawn chair, sitting around playing guitars when you were just 21 years old and I was fixing to turn 19 and sitting down in lawn chairs and playing guitars until, 3 a.m. And we always talked about making it, and we played all those shitty bar gigs together. And now we can both say that we're happily living the dream. Like, it's just wild.
And you're still just getting started.
Yeah.
But to have it all come up together, and it's cool to hear you say that, because like I've talked about it on here a bunch. Like, when people move to Nashville and you meet other guys and girls that move here around the same time, it's like kind of like your class almost. But you guys have that within the Oklahoma Red Dirt scene as well, of guys and girls that get started. Like, you look at back in the day with the Co-Wetzel, Parker McCollum. Those guys, people don't realize those two used to tour together in a van or in a car they did that shit for years, And you look at like the generation that's come after that with like Pecos and Colby and Dylan Wheeler and people like that. But now there's this resurgence of kids out of Oklahoma and kids a little bit further up north, out of South Dakota, out of Idaho, out of Washington. Like, there's just this Western movement going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's like Western mixed with a little bit of rock, mixed with some elements of 2000s country. Like, it's such a cool blend of shit that you kids are all creating. Like, how old are you? You're what?
21.
Yeah, you're a fucking baby. I'm 20. I'm the damn baby. There's all these kids coming up right now. There's a group of folks, and it's all different styles of within the country spectrum that are like 23, 24 and under, that are just you guys are just kicking the door down.
It's just a new era, man. It's weird.
It's exciting.
It's exciting, but like, it's weird for me to like
be a part of it.
Like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm in that circle, or like you look up at the Red Dirt stuff and you see all those guys and you're like, those were the godfathers of Red Dirt, and it's like, what era am I being a part of right now? Because I guess it's just mind blowing for me.
Well, the way I kind of describe it, and I'm gonna probably do like a video on it. So I'm like doing the Raise Rowdy thing. We're doing a lot more like personality stuff and whatnot. And I used to be a radio DJ. That's how I got my start, was being a country radio DJ in New Jersey.
Heck yeah.
Was how I got my start, and then moved down here and all that. But the way I've kind of looked, like stepping back and looking at it, it's like you look at like the 80s and 90s, like the transition of rock. You have like hair metal, like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Then you get into grunge, and it's people singing about like very emotional shit. There's still the drugs and the rock and roll, probably still the sex too in some regard, but it's not this like glamorous thing. It's singing. It's the other end of that spectrum, and it's huge when you go from Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses and Whitesnake to Nirvana and Alice in Chains and freaking like Pearl Jam and that style.
Yeah.
And I feel like country music's going through that right now. I feel like it's the end of the bro country era. It's the end of Daisy Dukes and tailgates and beer and singing about the happiness that's in the country lifestyle. And there is a lot of happiness. There's a lot of cool stuff about growing up small town. There is. But there's a lot of bad stuff about growing up small town too. And there's a lot of emotion, and people have been through a lot of shit, especially over the last few years coming out of the pandemic and different things going on with society and whatever. And you have folks singing about real shit. And that's what it seems like what you're doing.
It's definitely like, for me, I feel like after COVID hit, that's when people like woke up and was like, I'm not okay. Like, this is not okay. This is not a way to fake happiness. You know, you can only do it for so long. And I really feel like the COVID had a huge impact on how people view the world and got in touch with themselves. And it's like, oh yeah, life is not all happy.
Yeah.
And I can't just be listening to the white noise or that's coming through this radio right now. Like, I need something that actually tells me what's going on in my life, and I need something to connect to.
Yeah, and you see it in pop with like the sad stuff that comes out of that with the Billie Eilishes of the world and that, and then you've got this sad boy farm emo, like just angsty. This is how we feel. We're gonna cuss. We might not have the quote unquote best country voice, but it's going to be something distinct. When you hear Zach Bryan sing, you know it's Zach fucking Bryan.
Yeah.
When you hear Wyatt Flores sing, when you hear Tyler Halverson sing, when you hear Sam Barber sing, when you hear Colby Acuff, like there's
you know it.
It's distinct as fuck, and it's real stuff. It's not. You can't like that famous video. I think it was Grady Smith that did it back in the day. That famous video where they took all the songs and put it over the one beat. That you ever see that? What was the snap tracks? Was that Grady, Matt? Yeah. That was Grady. So it was I forget what year it was. It had to be like 2014.
Dude, that's old. Yeah, that's like 2015, 2016, something like
so they took he took a bunch of number ones from that year, and you could put it over the same snap track. And it was like all this, but I mean, it makes sense. It was the same group of guys writing them, the same group of guys producing them. So it makes sense. It's a sound. It's an era. FGL had created an era and a sound. But that era just seems, and it's still there. We know guys and girls that are in that pop vein that we love and are doing art and doing it their way. But there's just this feeling of like Charles Wesley Godwin, for example. And you've gotten to do some shows with him, right?
Fixing to
I
2-week run in California with him.
That's gonna be so fucking cool.
You have no idea.
And who would have thought a small town guy from West Virginia, from the Holler, with a small town guy from literally one of the smallest towns you can come from outside of Stillwater, Oklahoma, together on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Playing, I would assume that those tickets are probably moving. It's probably close to sold out if it isn't already.
I haven't checked it, but
because Charles is moving tickets, and you've already been out on the West Coast, so you've been to some of the places that you're going. But you see it with girls too. Like there's some females that are coming up that have that kind of sad sound as well. Even on the pop spectrum, like Meg Maroney's singing about sad shit. The Girl in the Mirror, that's a fucking real ass song. And we've had her on the pod, and there's just this cool thing going on with you guys and girls that are, especially like I said, the 24, 25 and under. And I'm really excited to see where it's at 5. Can you imagine where it's 6 months from now, but like 5 years from now, where the scene is at?
It's I'm wondering if it'll do something to where we push the limits so far, and in 10 years it changes again. You know, like everything has its movement. You have the 90s, you got the 2000s, and then the 2010s. You know, or teens, I guess. I don't know how you. However you want to do that, but
2010s.
Yeah,
2010s.
and I definitely think there will be another movement. I feel like there's going to be this movement that happens for the next 10 years. And then at some point, we're going to push a limit to where it's like, all right, times aren't as bad anymore. We still love these songs. We're still going to take some of these with us. But now it's time for the new movement. And it'll be, happier songs. I just hope that it doesn't fall in the same pocket of, the snap tracks thing. Because that is so true. It really is. It is like, we still need those happy songs. Like, I love, Keith Urban's, early stuff. Like, what is that song?
Or the Black Top. Love Somebody Like You.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I was listening, so my girlfriend, she's a few years older than me, she's 35, and she was playing some old Keith Urban. But did you know Keith Urban was a frontman in a band?
No kidding.
So I forget what it was called. McElroy, again, showing his age. He's over 32. These old motherfuckers. They're in their 20s like us.
I'll be 33 here coming up.
Yeah, he was. What was the? You remember what the band was called? McElroy?
I don't remember the band, but I remember. They did. So he got his start. It's weird we're talking about this because the guy we had on Trey's podcast yesterday, his big inspiration is
Keith Urban. Peyton Smith, right?
Yeah. He, but no, Keith got discovered playing in a bar band from Brooks and Dunn. I think Kix Brooks sat on the floor and watched Keith play at. I want to say it was in Oklahoma, actually.
Yeah, it might have been in Oklahoma. Imagine it was at Canes or something.
Oh,
that'd be very
man.
much. That'd be very fitting.
It's wild. It's wild to hear. I did have a question. So, like,
You've got sweet boy. You've got a still slightly buzzed, definitely hungover Matt McElwain asking you a question. Wyatt Flores, that's a big accomplishment. All right, question from the studio audience.
It was no. I always come into these things. I was talking to somebody last night. I was like, I ran into you several times. I think you're here in town, and I want to say we've also met in Oklahoma at one point. Where like when you talk about the Snaptrack thing, and you're talking about this new era of stuff that's coming, like there's always these different classes of like the next thing that's coming. I think it's just a wild west at this point, and it's like where do you see the next? I don't like. I see it just going from from what it was to now. It's like everybody's doing this like it doesn't matter anymore type deal. It's like because like Megan Roney, like I mean hell we talked about her and like it's Damn, I'm going on a rant on this, but
sweet boy, this is I know how to ask a question. Take a break to spit.
I get long winded, but
but yes, there's no boundaries. I'm with you, McElwain.
I think that represents a lot of the way things are now. Like if you really want to think about it, the attention span that my generation has is so low that it's come to the point where it's like you have to have all these options. You need that. That's why this new scene, like you got Evan Honer, he's doing like the folk John Prine thing, but he's from the California region and he has a different style that he plays. And then you got, the Cole Chaneys of the world that are doing that bluegrass.
William Beckman, another traditional kind of sounding guy. Sounds like the original Hank Williams.
Yeah, and you have all these options. I mean, freaking 49 Winchester, one of my favorite bands.
Fucking love those guys.
Honky Tonk is all get out. Like it's amazing what we can like all the things that you have.
There's
now.
a kid I want you to look up. He played our round the other day. So what I've been doing with these rounds and stuff is I like to stick kids together that I think would sound cool together and vibe with each other. That especially ones that are new to town. So like we had the other day, we had on Tuesday, I put three kids together. Only one of them lives in town. His name's Aiden Canfield. He just moved here. Aiden's a good friend. You know Aiden?
Yeah.
So Aiden's a really good friend of mine. He's become like a little brother figure because him and I are both from New York. And he's like, wait a second, you're from New York? I'm like, yeah, dude, we grew up 15 minutes apart from each other.
No kidding.
Right outside New York City in the suburbs. And like so I had him play. He moved here on Monday. And then there's two kids, Preston Duffy, traditional sounding kid, not quite in the same in that lane like we're talking about, but writing some real shit, not as much the stereotypical commercial stuff from South Carolina. There's this other kid, Landon Smith.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This name has been brought to my attention multiple times.
Yes.
Landon Smith, I have not heard his music. I have someone in my marketing team.
this dude is wild.
Dude, he
Is he 19 years old?
yeah, he's 19.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He fucking the other day, he has a song called If You Want Me Tonight that is already coming up on 2 million streams on Spotify.
Jesus.
19 years old, going to school. He's from Georgia. So you have this sound. You have Aiden doing this. You have like the Oklahoma to me is where it kind of came out of. Like, where is like Sam Barber's from California, right? I think
he's from Missouri.
Oh, he's from Missouri
originally, and then he moved to Montana.
Okay, so he's that kind of Midwest thing too. Then you have like what Turnpike was doing. You have Zach, you have yourself, you have the folks, you have Cam, you have the folks coming out of Oklahoma, like that Oklahoma, Texas. Then you have Aiden kind of doing it where it's like a New York kind of stuff. You feel the elements of a Bruce Springsteen song mixed with this new wave of country stuff. Then you have this Landon Smith kid from Statesboro, Georgia, which Statesboro, Georgia, I hope you get to go down there one day. Definitely a different vibe from what you're used to. But to me, it's like you can't, it's where Luke Bryan got his start, where Cole Swindell got his start, where Dallas Davidson, that whole era of what country has been the last 15 years came out of that little section. It's where Dylan Marlowe's hometown, Brian Fuller, Trey Landon, and the list goes on and on of the South Georgia guys and girls that have been coming out of there. And that's where this Landon kid is from. But Landon is singing songs like yours, like Zach's, like Sam's, like
Deep cut.
Deep cut. He's cussing. He's singing songs about being in a either he's physically intoxicated or mentally he's just fucked up over something, and he's singing it the real way. He's writing the shit like how you're writing it. But it's cool to see that it's not just a regional thing out of Red Dirt Country anymore.
No.
It's coming out of 15 minutes outside of New York City. It's coming out of South Georgia, the former capital of the bro country movement, which is why I think it really is here to stay, because all sections of the country are being inspired by it.
Yeah.
And it's all young kids coming out of COVID.
And we're all riding the wave. That's the weird part, is that we're all this young. Like, it's not like a couple of us. Like, he's 19. So is Sam Bart. Well, not anymore. He just had his birthday. But like,
Happy birthday, Sam.
Yeah. But like, but like, how crazy is that? We're all this young, and to be writing songs on this level is something else too.
And you know who else is really young, but doing it on a commercial scale. But it's again sad, kind of real shit. Look, you can't talk about all this without talking about Bailey Zimmerman.
Yeah,
say rocking a heart like that's real shit.
It is. Not, and his voice is not, the regular.
Yeah, it's not the regular. It's distinct and different. You feel the emotion in it. He grew up in a small town up in Illinois and was working on like an oil rig.
And that is an amazing story that he has. It's
yeah,
just like, oh yeah, I just did it one time.
Yeah, his first time ever playing in front of people was a Raised Rowdy event. It was at Live Oak. He wasn't even living here yet. We had him play a writers round. That was his first. Austin Sean played guitar for him, his producer. Like he didn't even know how to play guitar. You just learned it. It's so cool to see that you can do it that organic way.
Yeah,
like because you started organic, and then you found a group of guys that believe in you, that can be your quote unquote suits, but they're not really suits because they're your boys. They're guys that believe in you.
Yeah, that's how we did it. I mean,
how'd you meet those two guys?
Wait, which ones exactly?
I'm talking about Tyler and
Braden.
Braden, yeah.
All right, so Braden had already been working with Tyler and OEG, and they already had 3 other artists at the time, and I had actually met Caitlin and Tyler for the first time in January of 2021 at Tumbleweed. We weren't supposed to be playing there. We were supposed to be in like Alva, Oklahoma for some music deal, and then it ended up getting rained out, so they moved it to the small. I forget what they call it, but it was the small little stage in the back.
Yeah.
And I sat right next to the right of Caitlin, did a writer's round. And that's when I first met him. But then Carrie had never heard of me either. The night before, I was in there drinking under the age, and I had the courage to go up to him and be like, man, I'd really love to play here. What do I have to do? He told me all that stuff. Then the next day I'm playing there, and I was like, man, this worked out great. But he was texting Tyler, and he's like, you need to get this kid while you still can. And so the conversation started, but I didn't have anyone helping me with anything. Like, it was just me, little old me. I set my own gear up. I knew everything about that, and I'd play for 4 hours just by myself, having the time of my life. And
singing every Red Dirt song that you do.
Yeah. Singing every song that I could possibly learn. And he goes, hey, we need you to come down here. Let's have you and Caitlin do a show together. And I showed up like 45 minutes late because he told me.
And this is Caitlin who?
Caitlin Killian.
Which
is also a roommate.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that because I didn't know what load-in was. I was like, yeah, screw all that, man. Like, I can set up my stuff 10 minutes before I'm supposed to start playing, and I'll be fine.
Bar band style, baby.
Yeah, there ain't no time for that. Yeah, and so, yeah, I almost lost, like, I probably was about this close to not being able to be a part of this team just because I was showing up late all the time. And I was like, dude, I don't know what you want from me. The show starts at like 6. Why you want me here at 4? Like it's an acoustic gig. Either way, met with them, and then they were like, let's do a test trial. We'll do 3 months, see how things work. 3 months goes by. I just started calling him my manager, and then we never talked about it again. And then just been with those guys. And then we all moved here to Nashville. I still had no money. And so I just lived in the apartment with Tyler, my manager. And then I shared a room with my guitar player and producer, Austin Yankunes, and just moved out of there in April.
Where was that apartment at?
That would have been down in Brentwood.
Okay.
The Landings of Brentwood apartment.
Hey, Breniac.
And
Where you at now?
still in Brentwood, but now we're in a big old house, but we're sharing it with, I think there's 5 of us in there.
Okay.
Maybe.
But it's all it's all people and music.
So it's manager, still the guitar player, producer, Austin. Then you got Caitlin Killian, and then you got Andrew Sevner and me.
Dude, that's awesome. I love when folks live, like music folks live together, because it's just like a creative house.
It's a creative house, and it's also just personal growth all the way across.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we build each other up and help each and every single one of us succeed?
Yeah, I saw that recently with Trey. When I first met Trey Lewis, I mean, since he's been in Nashville, pretty much he's been living with Ella Langley, his roommate, who's killing it and doing another thing. And then up until they recently moved into this new house in Hermitage that they're at, it was the two of them, and then Joy Beth Taylor, phenomenal songwriter and fellow Alabama person, and then Matt McKinney, who's a killer songwriter. So you had 4 just creative friends living together. And like you said, it's the personal growth thing where you guys all moved here together and you guys are all coming up together and doing it. And that creative energy just keeps you rolling and keeps you inspired and keeps you going.
And especially for all of us coming, Andrew's from Texas, but for the most part, we're all from that area. So when we all showed up together, it was like, it's us against the world.
Yeah.
It's been that energy, but now it's not like we're trying to step on toes and everything to get to the top of the ladder. It's just like, we got each other.
Yeah.
We got to make this work for ourselves.
Yeah.
And now it's just been a fun family. Like, truthfully, like, everyone's like, this is music business, not music friends. And it's like, yeah, but you can also have a great personal relationship with people.
If you're a great person, you'll find other great people to work with, and then it's going to work. You have a much better shot being a good person and doing it with your friends, and to where it's work and it'll feel like work at times. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're doing something you fucking love with other people that you happen to love that are your closest homies. And I love that for you, man. And I love seeing what you and your team are building, and I can't wait to see what's coming now. We're kind of getting to that midway point of this year. You've had a lot of shows under your belt. You've got the Charles Tour coming up. When does that start?
Oh, man. See, you remember me talking about not looking at Master Tour? I'm trying to think. I think it starts maybe the 10th of July, somewhere in there.
Do you have stuff before that?
Yeah, I think I'll be up in Chicago and stuff with 49 the weekend before.
Is that at Joe's on Weed?
I have no idea.
It's probably at Joe's on Weed or Joe's Live. Chicago. Have you been to Chicago?
No.
Chicago is fucking awesome, especially this time of year.
Heck yeah.
You go in the summer, bro, when it's warm and not windy with a foot of snow. Chicago is awesome. One of my favorite cities, and one of the cities I was most surprised about with country music. They fucking love it. They're gonna eat it up, bro.
Well,
and the red dirt scene does so well up there. Like, there's a huge red dirt market to where Turnpike and all those guys. I mean, even going back to Ragweed and Wade Bowen and Randy Rogers and Casey Donahue. I mean, Chicago is an awesome place. You're gonna love it. I recommend going to Portillo's. It's a place where really good sandwiches. They call them beef sandwiches, just roast beef on a sandwich, and you get it wet, so it's already dipped in like the dip. So it's like, and then they have get a big piece of chocolate cake there. They also have chocolate cake shakes, bro. And they have dispensaries everywhere. But they're expensive. Chicago, lower your weed prices, please.
Yeah,
You
just take that tax.
For some Malort.
Yeah. And drink some Malort.
I'm gonna have to write this down.
Well, I'll text it to you.
Oh, thank you.
I'll text it to you. I'll give you a little itinerary. Chicago, and with the 49 guys, that'll be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
If you're at Joe's on Weed, they hook it up really well with hospitality. Our buddy Ed Worm actually is the guy that owns that. Because being a tour manager the last few years, I've gotten to know everybody all over the country with doing the shows and stuff. But yeah, Chicago, one of my favorite spots. And then I'm guessing off of Chicago, you're probably doing what, like Michigan, Indiana.
I'm trying to remember.
Wisconsin. Are you going to Milwaukee? You going to Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Are you going to is it the Rave Eagles Club? It's got to be the Rave.
I think it's with Charlie Crockett.
It's got probably the Rave.
I think Charlie's. Oh man, I try not to look at it because it
overwhelms you.
Oh yeah, because oh man, we got a lot of things to accomplish. It's like I just get in the van when I'm told to.
Yeah. If you go up to Milwaukee, that's the have you heard of that place, the Rave Eagles Club? Okay, so it's legendary. It's a place I've talked about this. I talk about the same venues on here all the time. Mac Wynn's like, I've heard about this place, but I haven't been yet.
I was say we hadn't been there yet.
Yeah, he hasn't been there yet. I've been there. I've been there when I was out with Gary and Charlie from Muscadine. It's a building that has 4 or 5 venues in it. So it's like you go in. It's an old. Like how you have like the Elks Club or like the Moose Club and stuff.
Yeah.
So the Eagles Club was like a high society thing back in the early days, like in like the 20s or teens or whatever, like way back. And they basically upstairs there's a big ballroom, holds about 4,000 or 5,000 people. Then downstairs on the main level there's like a bar room that holds probably about 350, 400. That was where I was at with Muscadine. Behind that there's a club level one that holds about 750, 800. You go downstairs. There's another one that used to be the bowling alley in this Eagles like society rich people's club. That holds probably I think like 800 to 1,000. So you have all that, but the wildest part about it is one of the most haunted venues in the country. And you're a guy that's vibey, and you, I think you're gonna definitely get some vibes in that room if that's where you guys are going. Which I would imagine if you're out with Charlie, I would imagine that you're there. In one of those spaces, which Charlie Crockett's awesome by the way. I haven't had the chance to meet him, but I'm a big fan of what he does, and that's a really cool.
Oh, I'm excited.
Really cool opening slot for you. But downstairs is that famous pool. There's an old pool, so you go down a few levels of stairs, and they'll take you on a tour of the building, of like the ghost tour of the building. That's like part of the hospitality they do, and there's the haunted pool with the ghosts and stuff, and they have like right before Mac Miller had passed away, Mac Miller played there, and he signed his name on the pool, and he wrote, I'm Mac Miller. I was once alive, now I'm dead. I sold this bitch out, like the ballroom upstairs. I've sold this bitch out 4 times, and he wrote like something else and then signed it, and like shortly after that, he passed away. And I'm not going to write that down. No, you don't have to write that. You don't have to write that. But they plexiglassed it, and the acoustics. If you go down in the pool and you sing, like I forget who was somebody. I mean, Cameron
Marlowe just did.
Cameron was just there. I think Meg Maroney was there recently. There's a lot of that's a huge country market. But what's wild is you'll be doing your show on one of the club levels, or maybe you guys are up in the ballroom. Who knows? But there'll be other shows going on at the same time. So they'll have one room going, and then like when I was there in Muscadine, we were downstairs. You ever heard of Glantis? That is, so it's like a like European like EDM like DJ. So that was going on upstairs with like 5,000 drunk college kids. We were downstairs in the smaller room with like 400 like packed Muscadine fans, and we're loading out of this place, and you look up and it's just college kids just dangling out the windows of this ballroom, just crazy shit. And to make it even wilder, across the street you're familiar with all the Jeffrey Dahmer shit? Yeah. So he's from the Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That hotel across the street was one of his spots.
Okay, hold on.
That was where he did his shit.
This is where we're going, I'm pretty sure, because I can't remember who in my band was talking about it, but they're like, yeah, we'll be right next to the hotel.
Yep, that's where you're going. Yeah, that's it. And there used to be, I think there still are. I didn't do the full Jeffrey Dahmer experience, but there's like apparently tunnels underneath where you can get from the Eagles Club to the hotel, like under the street.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a vibe, bro. The Midwest fucks. The Upper Midwest specifically, like like you talk about like Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Indianapolis, Chicago. They're great cities for country music. Like those are some of my favorite clubs in the country to go along with Tumbleweed, of course, and go along with Canes and like you've got a lot of fun shit ahead of you, bro.
Oh yeah,
I'm so excited for you. I'm jealous almost that you're getting to experience all this stuff for the first time because it's so much fun getting to see the country and to do it with a team that believes in you and that you believe in, and you have that us against the world mentality. Because that's how it was when I was with Muscadine. That's how it was the early days with Trey coming out of Dick Down in Dallas. Like you're going out there and it's a unit. It's like playing a sport and fucking like coming up in like middle school or high school, and you're going out with your team across the country playing in tournaments or something. Like you're playing travel ball or something. But you're getting to play music in front of people that want to hear it.
Yeah.
In front of and get to open for
How
artists.
wild is that,
Dude? It's crazy. And this is life. This is work.
Yeah.
You're not dogging it in 100-degree middle Oklahoma heat on a farm anymore. You're not doing the construction gigs and doing all that, and by doing that, it makes all this worth that much more to you. So, dude, I'm super excited for you. Super stoked.
Thank you.
Any word on new music coming?
All right, I'll go ahead and say it. The next song coming out, I believe it's coming out June 9th.
Okay.
Is Holes, which is a song that I wrote back in March, and it's all about being broke. And yeah, I'm very excited. It's one of the most personalized songs towards me and where I come from and the generations of my family. So I'm very excited to be releasing that song. I've been holding it for way too long.
Well, maybe you putting out that song will inspire crazy ass Shia LaBeouf to make a new Holes movie, and you'll be the damn soundtrack. We'll get the label team on the sync on that one, and we'll inspire that, and you can be the movie soundtrack of the major motion picture.
That would
of
be
Holes,
awesome.
Holes, whatever number it is. I think it'd be Holes 2, right? It'd be 2 or 3.
I don't think. Wait, they made a second one?
Did they make a second one, man? Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on, McElwain. Turn your mic on. There you go.
Yeah, if they do this, it'll be a Holes 2.
Okay. Holes 2, we need you. Wyatt Flores has your soundtrack. Holes 2, we're ready for you.
He needs that paycheck.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, no kidding. Hey.
It gets expensive out there in Brentwood. But bro, where can people go to find you on all the socials and shit?
Socials, just look up official Wyatt Flores, and then I swear, if you look up Flores at all, you'll see my goofy ass on there somewhere.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on and hanging. Like I said, it's full circle. Like getting to literally meeting you your first time playing at your first time doing like one of those opening slots for Kerry and the crew at Tumbleweed to now you're a rising act. You're a name people are knowing in the country music scene, and I can't wait to watch you continue to grow.
Well, thank you, brother.
And super stoked to have you as a part of the outside the round Raise Rowdy family now, bro.
Heck yeah.
It's cool to have you. I know we talked about doing it for a while, so glad we can
thank
make
you
it
so
work.
much for having me, man.
Brother, absolutely. We'll do it again soon.
Heck yeah.
We'll do it again sometime. Y'all be sure to check out our boy Wyatt Flores. He's going on the road with all kinds of folks all over the country. So y'all be sure to go and visit. It's WyattFlores.com, I'm assuming, right? Your website?
WyattFloresMusic.com.
WyattFloresMusic.com. Y'all be sure to go check that out. Get some tickets. And when you're at the shows, say hey to Wyatt and buy some fucking merch, because the merch is a huge way to support these guys and girls that we have on this show and folks that are rising up in this country music thing. Also, shout out to our sponsors. Of course, we got our friends from Big Friendly Productions. We have our friends from Whaletail Media, Saxman Studios, and our boy Mitch Wallace with The Digital Marketing Agency. For more information on what we do here at Outside the Round, y'all visit raiserowdy.com. For Sweet Boy behind the camera, my boy Wyatt Flores, my name is Matt Brill, and this has been Outside the Round.
I ain't never been the kind for staying one place for too long. I ain't never been the best at saying I love you to a girl I love. Only got a couple tricks up my sleeve. They usually just make them leave.